I just kind of wanted to start off. I mean, you obviously had the chance to, if you'd wanted to maybe pursue the NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
How close were you to, kind of making that decision?
I felt like it was an easy decision. I didn't leave how I wanted to leave. If it was one of those things where, let's say last year I was a redshirt junior, and if I had a full year and it was a good year, even then I still don't know if I even would have done it. It would have had to have been one of those things where it made absolutely zero sense to come back. But in my case, it made all the right sense to come back, and I didn't want to leave my friends, I didn't want to leave my team, didn't want to leave my school, and so I'm just glad that I have the chance to come back rather than just having my senior year be done, because I think I was about one game away from having that happen where I wouldn't have been able to come back at all.
Yeah, in a strange way, I mean, is there maybe less pressure on you this year? Because last year, I mean, it was, your senior year, a lot of award watch lists, but this year you're kind of coming in under the radar. I mean, is it feel a little bit different than last year?
I still, just because I'm not on any award watch lists or don't have the hype last year, some people probably aren't putting me on preseason lists like where they would have if it was going into my original senior year. But, I don't take any of that to heart or anything. I'm still going to come out. I'm going to work as hard as I do any off season. I'm going to try to make myself the best football player I can be, regardless of any sort of awards or recognition.
How hard was it last year when you're watching like the Kent State game and then the bowl game, knowing that if you're out there, you can help your teammates out?
Yeah, it was definitely very difficult, especially watching that Marshall game, the first game, because that was the first game I've ever missed my whole career. So that was definitely difficult for me to watch and to see. But then you got to just kind of suck it up and get over it, because it's not only just about you, it's about more about the team. So I had to try to figure out what I could do to help the team. So I was able to, thankfully I knew the defense well enough, and I was able to, help kind of coach guys up on the line and be able to give it from more of a player's perspective rather than a coach's perspective. So it never hurts having an extra set of eyes out there to kind of critique you and let you know, like give you some tips and hints.
Can you give me a brief scouting report on your fellow linebackers this year?
We definitely have some good guys. Eric Benjamin is our leading returning tackler. He is a great weak side linebacker. Have him back, and he started, I think, every game last year, I believe. And Jelani Wosley has definitely had a great off season. He's been flying around out there on the field. He's been taking most of the reps now that Eric's been sitting out a little bit. Alfonso Lewis is definitely one that sort of impressed me at Sam. In the spring practice, it seemed like anytime we'd get into 11 personnel, they always wanted to go in for send a nickel back in kind of into his position, because his coverage skills weren't where they needed to be. But this summer he's definitely worked hard, and he's got those a lot better to the point where he might be able to just stay in the whole game. He might not need to sub in for a nickel. So, and then there's young guys scattered throughout in and out where I think that they will step in and play when they need to, and there's definitely some depth there.
Okay. This team has been like right on the brink. Last year, 2 years ago in the MAC championship game. Last year you were a game away from the MAC championship game, and then probably a MAC championship game that you probably thought if you would have been in it, you probably would have you might have won it, and then the bowl game. So how's this team going to take the next step, or why do you think this team will kind of take that next step?
I think that this year we kind of have a different mindset. I think everyone on the team has been there, and they know how it feels to lose, to get that close and come up short. So I think the one thing that we've been wanting to focus on is when we get to that point, that late in the season where we're playing for so much, it shouldn't matter whether we're playing the worst team in the nation or the best team in the nation. We shouldn't let whoever we're playing dictate how we play. And I think that we definitely had that happen to us. We weren't weren't playing as well as we could. Whether we would have won or not, even if we were playing as well as we could, who knows? But when you don't even do that in the first place, you don't give yourself a chance. So I think that's one thing this year that we're going to make sure we do.
Only a weekend of camp, but any true freshmen out there impress you?
There definitely is some true freshmen. I'm looking forward to when we get, I think we scrimmage on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to seeing how some of those freshman D linemen play, because whether or not there's going to have to be some of those guys I think that are probably going to have to take some snaps this year. So we got so many of them. It's time to see which ones can play. Linebacker-wise, got a couple linebackers that are running around, Ben Russell and Javon. So those guys are both. Nothing's been said to them where it's you're for sure redshirting or anything like that. So they still got a lot to play for. And defensive backs, I like Aaron Mercer a lot. He's definitely a good player, and I think he can fly around out there. He's got good size.
Okay. Obviously missing time last year is a negative, but I mean, did any positive come out of it?
I'm a year smarter, year more mature. I had another off season with Coach Sano to spend to try to get bigger, stronger, and faster. Then it also helped out with my schooling, so now I'll be able to graduate here. That could have graduated this spring, but I will graduate this fall, so I'll be able to leave here with a degree and not have to worry about trying to come back for it if I did try to pursue NFL or whatnot. So that'll be nice. It'd be nice to have that out of the way and have a degree.